Ia, ma o le a whalawi loa atu le tātou whai whorasanga mua. O ia foi o se tasi o whai aonga sinia i mta upu tau teknolosi i le mātou waenga lea i le whaasayanisi po le whaakomputa. Fui maono Elizabeth Mawai, we'll talk about Samoa in the digital age, community resilience and innovation during Samoa's COVID-19 lockdown. Ia mai tu whatasio ai sumaile la fionga ngā whatasi ia matarau for sanga. Everyone gives a clap.
Ia, o te mai whaatulou le pa o Samoa, poto i o na tūlanga whaalupe, whaatalo whaatu, malo, afua, ai lao mau ai le nei aso. Tatou sila whae i ngā whatau soifua, pe o le tala teine o leo tongi tupaitea. Pe ia le atu mana, le atu ai whaavai ai Samoa, wa au mai alo tau soifua ma leo la vai, e nei tai au fau. I o le nei forsanga, o le awhao ngā ina le ngana whaperitania, o na o le matau atu, o lo filungia tatou sau whainga i le nei tai au. Greetings and talofa lava. It's an honor to stand before you today and share this presentation titled Samoa in the Digital Age. A story of connection, adaptation, and cultural strength. When the world came to a standstill during Samoa's 2022 COVID-19 lockdown, our schools, workplaces, and churches fell silent. Yet, amid the silence, a new rhythm emerged, the sound of our families, villages, and churches finding one another again online. This was not just about technology, it was about resilience through culture, guided by the timeless values of alofa, fa'aloalo, tautua, and swallow puli. Our people transform digital spaces into new extensions of the village. This presentation explores how Samoa became the engine of digital resilience, helping our communities adapt, stay connected, and keep our identity alive, even in the face of global uncertainty. The lockdown disrupted the heartbeat of Samoan life. Fono, village meetings, lotu, worships, and community gatherings all came to a sudden pause. Yet, Samoa did not disappear. It transformed. This image, a digital wave merging with a woven fala, captures the essence of this research. Our culture and technology met in time of crisis. When physical spaces closed, digital ones opened. Messenger calls replaced home visits. Zoom became the new falitele, and pastors live-streamed sermons from their living rooms. These were not acts of convenience. They were acts of tautua, service through love, respect, and care. Families, churches, and villages reimage traditional relationship through digital means, showing that Samoa can thrive even in virtual spaces. The purpose of this research was to understand how Samoan communities adapt so naturally to digital platforms and how cultural values guided that adaptation. Through this exploration, the Samoa Digital Resilience Framework was developed. It's a model that shows how our heritage can shape technology rather than be shaped by it. So this study began with 3 guiding questions that arose from within our own communities. 1, how did Samoa influence digital life during the lockdown? 2, what innovations emerge from our people? 3, how can these lessons strengthen Samoa's future resilience? These questions did more than guide the research. They guided me personally as a Samoan woman, educator, and a researcher seeking to understand how our values adapt in a changing world. What emerged was a powerful insight. Samoa did not resist digital change. It became the compass that directed it. Through alofa, fa'aloalo, tautua, and swallowpule, our people transform digital tools into cultural spaces of connection and care. The Samoa Digital Resilience Framework, or FDRF, bridges our cultural roots with our digital future. And its heart lies Samoa, our way of life, our moral compass, and the heartbeat of our identity. Surrounding it are the 4 pillars that uphold Samoan society: Ainga, Lotu, Nu'u, and Matai. Around these pillars flows the digital domains shaping modern life: communication, education, governance, and health. Each mirrors a rhythm of Samoan life. Connection reminds us that relationships are the foundation of belonging. Faith grounds our choices in moral and spiritual strength. Coordination reflects the harmony of our Nu'u and Matai working together. Trust sustains our digital spaces, ensuring technology strength, connection, not division. When culture leads, technology finds its true purpose. When guided by wisdom and respect, it nurtures the whawhialwai, the sacred space between people. And when relationships thrive, culture renews itself, even in the digital age. The framework reminds us that resilience in Samoa is not built by systems, but by people, by hearts, working together in unity. It challenges the notion that culture and technology are separate. Instead, it reveals that our culture systems are blueprints for innovation. When we begin with people and values, every digital tool becomes more than a device. It becomes a vessel of connection, compassion, and purpose. From the theory, we turn to people, to the real stories that give meaning to the data. The study reached 420 participants across Samoa, from the BC heart of Apia to the quiet villages of both Upolu and Savai. We sat with parents and teens, students and teachers, pastors and Matai. The everyday voices that carry them shows the heartbeat of Samoa. We used bilingual surveys and interviews in Samoan and English, so everyone could speak from the heart in the language that they felt like home. Each conversation began with fa'aloalo, sometimes through laughter, a small joke, or a moment of shared silence that said, "I see you." Because in Samoa, research is not about collecting data, it's about building the relationships. It's about listening with humility, earning trust, and recognizing that knowledge flows both ways. From these encounters came stories of humor, hope, and faith, stories that showed how Samoa guided digital life during lockdown, helping families and villages stay strong, creative, and connected. These voices became the soul of this study, living proof of our culture is not separate from technology. It is, in fact, the heartbeat of Samoa's digital resilience. To understand digital resilience, we must return to what grounds us, Fa'asamoa, our four pillars, Ainga, Lotu, Nu'u, and Matai. These four pillars uphold moral and social balance, bound together by alofa, fa'aloalo, tautua, and swalaupule. During lockdown, these values did not vanish. They migrated online. Families prayed via Zoom. Pastors preached live on Facebook, and Matai guided communities through Messenger. As one elder said, we didn't stop being Samoan. We became digital Samoans. Scholars such as Tamasese Va'ai and Pampu Bapa remind us that resilience begins not with systems, but with relationship, the Va'awhai. The framework builds on this truth. When one strand of one fala bends, the other hold firm. Now let's turn to the numbers where access meets adaptation. As shown in Table 1, internet access was significantly higher in urban areas, which is 86%, compared to rural areas, which is 62%. But when it comes to mobile phone use, the difference is almost disappeared, which is 88% overall. So in Samoa, it was the mobile phone, not the laptop, that became the bridge to the digital world. Even with high data costs, identified as the main barrier by 84% of respondents, our people found ways to stay connected. 68% attended online church services, and 61% participated in online learning. These figures tell a story of both challenges and creativity. Families shared routers, created hotspots, and even pooled their data so others could connect. In this way, connection became communal, not individual, reflecting the essence of Fa'asamoa in the digital age. What we see here is more stats, numbers, but it's evidence of collective resilience where culture turned limitation into innovation. Table 2 shows how Fa'asamoa adapted each of its four cultural pillars into the digital world. Ainga turned to Zoom and Messenger for Fono, evening prayers and support. Through these spaces, they sustained Swalaupule, the practice of shared dialogue and collective decision-making. Lotu moved online through Facebook Live and Zoom, broadcasting services, youth choirs, and prayer groups. These acts of tautua and fa'atuatua, service and faith, kept the spiritual rhythm of daily life alive. Nu'u, or committees, use WhatsApp to coordinate curfews, distribute aid, and check on families, preserving falufani, the spirit of unity and mutual care. Matai, or orators, shared guidance and reassurance through Messenger and Facebook, maintaining fa'aloalo and building digital trust within their communities. These digital spaces did not replace the falitele, which is the traditional meeting house. They extended it. In this new digital falitele, Ainga, Lotu, Nu'u, and Matai gathered once again, proving that even online, the heart of Samoa still beats together. Together, these practices form one heartbeat. Service, compassion, and leadership flow through our networks, connecting families, faith, and governance in new yet familiar ways. The statistics tell part of the story, but the voices also reveal the heart. One mother shared, na whaile whonua mato ai ngai lunga Zoom, whaatala noa mai ai se o whanau la Haiti. Our family meetings were held on Zoom, and even my little ones joined the discussion. A pastor reflected, our church Facebook page became our pulenuu, our new village square for faith. And a young teen said proudly, I helped my grandparents join Lotu online. These voices remind us that Fa'asamoa did not fade. It expanded into digital space, rooted in alofa, tautua, and swalaupule. Our culture continued to guide connection, compassion, and care, even through screens. So, why this matters to us as Samoan? When we reflect on these stories, one true strand stands out. Fa'asamoa held us together. When the world shuts its door, Samoa opened its screen, not to escape, but to embrace. Technology became our new falitele, where families, pastors, and matai gathered in spirit. Culture was not a barrier to modernity, it was its anchor. Every call and message became alofa in motion, service expressed through technology. Yes, challenges were real. Costly data, weak coverage, and digital hesitation among our elders. But these barriers became classroom. Our youth became digital mentors, teaching elders with patience, humor, and fa'aloalo. Each small act, helping someone unmute, guiding them through Messenger, became a bridge between generations. Fa'asamoa proved again that service knows no distance. It travels through fiber cables too. They carried by love and purpose. In conclusion, the pandemic showed us that culture is not something to preserve in the past. It is something to apply to the future. Samoa's experience proved resilience is culture before it is digital. When guided by alofa, fa'aloalo, tautua, and swalaupule, technology becomes a bridge of compassion and inclusion. Connectivity must now be viewed as social equity, and education must teach digital literacy through cultural values. And our task ahead is not to digitize Fa'asamoa, but to let Fa'asamoa humanize the digital world. As we move beyond the lockdown, we share a common duty to shape the digital world that has become part of our nu'u. Every post and message reflects who we are as Samoan. We are the Leoleo Ole Digital Samoa, guardians of the new village. Our Measina, our heritage, must live and evolve within it. The Fale pillars and glowing circle remind us that heritage and innovation are not opposites, but woven together like fala and fiber, strong, flexible, and beautifully connected. I close with deep gratitude for Taite Lava to the families, village members, Pastor Matai, who share their voices. This research belongs to you. To Sita for Taite Lava for the data that shaped our understanding of Samoan's digital journey, and also to the Sita data collected team, our families and firms who helped collect the data during lockdown. Yeah, for Taite Lava for living Tautua Lealofa through the service and care. And to the NUS, thank you for nurturing research grounded in Fa'asamoa, built on respect, collaboration, and community. May we continue to create digital futures that reflect our cultural wisdom, guided by alofa, fa'aloalo, and tautua. Fa'aftaite lava soifua maimanuia.
Thank you for that productive presentation. And now welcome our second speaker. She is also a lecturer at the Department of Information Technology and Systems. She'll be talking about the breaching the digital divide, Starlink's role in enhancing internet access for Samoan households. Please put your hands together for Polata Ivao Fia Faitupe to Iloma Lafaele, your contestant number 2.
Ia, e whatalo whatu i le pa ia ma le mamalu o au whanga poto le nei tae au. Ia, o le aso nafi, na musu whaafia mai le chia, whaasa moa le presentation tae au. Tu sa pe whaingi disi slides, e tau mawhai e whaasa moa. Ia, o lea la, le au fia le nei tae au. Ia, la tatou whaia le tala toi ina whiana le sau mai tua nu mamawa. It's gonna be a mixture of gases. Ia, o le awha o ngā ia ngangana e lua, e whai e le fola sanga e le nei tūla tae au. Ia, sa tau mawhai lava e aipo le ase wha Samoa ina o lau au tū. Bridging the digital divide. Starlink's role in enhancing internet access for Samoan households. Ia, whaapea la io se vai, so ina o le vā, i whesota inga wha teknolosi, i lunga o penga te whailangi. O le ale sao o le Starlink, po o le equipment lela au tala noa le nei aso, i le whaale leia o whesota inga le interneti, mo a inga i Samoa. Sina tala angala i titi su enga. Why Starlink? Ai se ana mafu ai o na nga ilo o mafau i le Starlink, ma le nei su enga. Ai le I whatauina ma installina le Starlink I tono lo ainga. I had a lot of problems with the connection at home. Telo taimi e whai data plans, e te iawa uma ia le plan a o le I whaonga aina. I have so many users. I have my children depending on me for data. So e telen whaatau le plan, luas fu lima tāla nei, e o atu le aso lulu wa uma. I le telo tangata nei whaalangolango mai I la au internet connection. E umai whalwai aso, pe wa anga I se, limas fulu anga I se lau tāla se tupe u whaalu. I le whaatau ina so o data nei, ina ia koneti uma. So at home, and I think within my household, e se tāu o le internet connection. E treat le internet, taipei lava o le tāu o le shelter, o le vai. Ia, ma le ea fo I le mana vai nai, a le eila se interneti, ia ua whetangisi solo tamaiti, le eise fia, ma ua whaalave lave ia tanga luenga la e whai tutono le ainga. So, internet connection at home was is very crucial. Ma tu I tā ua, pe o le mea lea sa nga e lo o mawhau I le equipment lea. Ma o le Starlink, na mua o whaalongo iai, ina ua whatua introduce mai tau sanga lo tea. I heard about Starlink from some of my networking engineering friends. Tala noa wha mai matua mtautia o le equipment lea lo sau nei. Sa o whaalongo nā taimi, au tele I ano tele ai. Ai ina ua wala au lia au e Professor Jen Mao, mangututia. Sa e se polo keti sa whatau ina manisi o au su e mai Australia. Ia na whamaila I elo Professor Jen Mao, o te sau te au waitono le team. I think a few weeks ago, le whatua published el mato polo ketina. It's titled The Entrance of Starlink in Samoa. Po o le saunga po le au mainga o le Starlink I tono Samoa. I le whainga o le study lea, sa tele lo taimi na alu I le suesueina o le Starlink. I had been reading a lot of articles. Whai tau ma suesue ai. Mahalo e ala ia lo mawhauwhau. Whapea lo la ia. Maybe e te tau ana whaatau ma whataitai lo ainga. O na o loi lo la ia lea pe sao ia suesuenga ma mea ia wa o whaalongo ai. Ia e pei o le alala na o le amataina I loa. Na tau mawhai e au mai le Starlink. Mawhai e loa ia le polo keti lea. Starlink. O le ale equipment. What is Starlink? O le Starlink o se whainga whaavau malo o le interneti. E whao ngā inai satelite. Mana whausia mati nae e le SpaceX. O le company lea a le ali ilau iloa lea o Elon Musk. O ia e o ninga e le company te lea. O la toula le o nina lea e le Starlink. O le Starlink, o tuina atu e whaia whesota inga vave, ma mautu I nuu manofuanga ma mau. Ma whesosoani e whai titia le vā wha teknolosi. E ma whai ona wha Samoa ina le Starlink e whaapia. o le whetu o wheso o tainga. But o le a ofa o ngā ina pea le upu Starlink, se i o lava ina whai wina le wholasanga nei tai au. So, na umai lola i o le Starlink, and then we set it up at home. Ia, o le teimina whatua au mai le Starlink, ia maa mata o na tatala, ia maa mata lona a mata na whaatu langa i lo ainga. Ia o se o whanau na to o lua, my eldest son le Chadlia and Charix, ia o la ua ia sa whesosoani, e set up le Starlink i lunga o le matou whale. Sa whepe i lunga matau mawhai, e set up ia le Starlink i lunga se i ulava ina ola. So, right now, and currently, o fōringa la i o le Starlink, pe ona ewa ai atua i le pitoi o, ia na wa umana vili i lunga o le paipa, ia matu i lunga o le pitoi i lunga o le matou whale. Na ia ilo na fōringa na i pitoi o le pito mai i, o lo iai le app, o le app lea, it's called the Starlink app, o le owa umana install I tono la o telefoni. And from this app, I am the admin, and I take control of the Starlink at home. A o le fia I lea tangata, ma utano post lana au nanga I lunga Starlink. A o vai atu o le teime moe tamaitia ronga, o utango post I devices I awane I toi o lunga e whaongale internet connection. E o sites. So I have the full control to block any website. Feangale ele tatau ona o ia tamaiti. Ia mana whaape na I lola I ona whaonga inga le Starlink. I le whaonga ina le Starlink, na ilo mawhauwhau, okay. E maha na ia fo ia e whaisina tamai study, tina tamai project at home. Lea lai iai lea so. Lea lai iai ia sini au tu o le su enga. Na tau mawhai e whai jo matou a inga. E tolu lava sini au tu. So these are the 3 objectives. Mua, compare Starlink versus Digicel internet performance in terms of speed, reliability, and latency. Ia on matou a inga. E Digicel fan umatangata. E lei masesi sa Vodafone. So this is one limitation of the study. Nga ole au Digicel le nga mawhai o nga compare ia le performance o le Starlink. Number 2, assess the cost effectiveness for households. So e ele tau male au ngau au nanga mo ainga. E ilo ailo na tau fesosoani. I le tele o le tau ngata o le soifuanga nei vai taimi. Male lona tolu. Discuss implications for digital inclusion and policy. So to achieve the objectives po osini au tu, o le methodology la lea sa ofa o ngaina. To collect the data, data has been collected ever since March. I le tausanga nei o le Starlink fatua official le approval o le Starlink e wha o ngai Samoa. I le amatanga o tausanga nei a Januari. Ia o inana amatanga wha o na aina mai e lo ainga. So 2 networks were compared, the Starlink satellite-based Wi-Fi and the Digicel mobile broadband. All these tests were conducted using the Meteor app. E sila mai le pito I lalo, o le pito I lunga, o lo iai le tamai app, o na fōlinga ngai ta o le Meteor. O le Meteor, it's an open source tool. It measures the performance of these networks. So o le mea la le sa focus ai le measure le Meteor app, or the download speed. Now, when I say download speed, I'm referring to how fast you receive the data. So, a higher download speed, longa winga, it's very, very fast. It's higher means better. Por matua lele ale au onanga. When I say upload speed, it's how fast you send the data. So when the upload speed is high, that's a better network. And in terms of latency or ping, how quickly your connection responds, polale va they respond my elo connection. So lower latency or lower ping measured in milliseconds means better and smoother connection. So for Lingalanga le app, and we had been doing this ever since March. O tele waso masangina run ile test ole Monday male Saturday. Taiao male po male afiafi. astona I te milo ye umal mato a ingal fale, and then we test wale la tau fa use use as ia. So after running the test, all these tests were recorded. I created a spreadsheet with all the labeled columns. Ia record ai le aso, o le taimi, o le network, ia ma performance metrics ia pe o le download, o le upload, ma le ping. So the speed were measured in megabits per second, and ping latency was measured in milliseconds. These are the results. Ia peona e tangatanga ai atuai. Ia e te le lava le maualunga. O le pe awha tusa ia au nanga I lua. So findings from this very small study we carried at home. In terms of download speed, Starlink consistently achieved higher throughput. O le maualunga lava na o le download speed test ale mato Starlink 278 megabits per second, and that's a lot. El Digicel o le maualunga na o le 85 megabits per second. Upload speed more stable under Starlink, averaging 15 megabits per second, with Digicel showing wider fluctuations. And in terms of ping latency, both showed variability, but Starlink generally maintained lower ping values, improving responsiveness for real-time applications. Cost efficiency, Starlink is allowed to wivata la le fixed amount if le Starlink le Measina, unlimited data. So at home, we have been having the kids do online gaming, the little children with their tablets online all the time, Netflix on one TV, and then we have the Nofua Ongas from our families from Kua and Savai. So everyone has the free connection. Reliability, Starlink's performance is more stable over time. And we feel that Digicel's variability reflects network congestion and signal attenuation indoors. So all these tests was done indoors. Na fai me tonol fale o tele isau fafo o fa'atalata le Starlink mafai. So the same place I tested for Starlink is the same place I tested for the Digicel performance. For practical use, during the 2025 dengue fever lockdown, le fatua umaneya tua. Starlink stability enabled uninterrupted remote teaching and online learning and communication from home. So to sao te whainga luenga, ia ai tatele pole make sure le on le Starlink ina mwhaiona whaawau ia vasenga lau whanau ia malto o telefo la au nofo a onga I le whale. Starlink's introduction represents a significant step toward bridging Samoa's digital divide, especially for rural and very urban households. Reliable connectivity supports access to education, e-health, e-commerce, and telework opportunities. In terms of infrastructure and policy relevance, these findings can inform policymakers and ISPs to promote competitive pricing models for local ISPs, develop hybrid infrastructure strategies that combine terrestrial and satellite systems, and to consider subsidized access for schools and community hubs using satellite broadband. Our limitations, tests were performed at our household. So a broader generalization requires a larger sample. A Meteor app results depend on momentary network conditions, and only one mobile provider, Digicel, was included in comparison. And I guess for future work, we would like to expand testing across multiple villages. And in many more households, to include Vodafone Samoa as well in the testing, and to measure signal stability over weather conditions. Test maybe check po lai timu ti munga pe a wha pe la wa atono le sina mea le inga suile ia le speed, ia ma le test, and integrates user satisfaction surveys with quantitative speed and data. Yeah, in conclusion, po ole whaaiunga, ole nei sanga, Starlink provided a 4 to 5-fold improvement in download performance and more consistent upload and latency results compared to Digicel. Its fixed monthly rate makes it a sustainable and equitable solution for Samoan households seeking reliable internet access. And these results suggest that satellite internet can complement existing ISP services and play a transformative role in closing Samoa's digital access gap. Ia whawhitai lava, molo ova noa.
Whawhitai lava po lata e vau, mo le saunonga mai ea. Ia na tūwhafua mai loa man tātou Starlink. Ia o tātou whaifurasanga le aso o ai. Just want to introduce our next speakers. Onelau Soti and Dr. Lex McDonald. Onelau is currently a lecturer at the Faculty of Education here at the National University of Samoa. And we have Dr. Lex McDonald, who is a teacher and a psychologist by profession. They will present on food and textiles, technology in Samoan schools, development or retrenchments. We welcome, please put your hands together for our speaker.
Manatu ua mai e ona pai ulu whanua le tatou tai au silsili whae. Mai ole atu i toe o Iesu tala lo whaatawa. Ai ole a matalo le whalasanga. Pei ona ieli nei sa ili ilinga. Ole a tamu whai fo i e whaonga atu i a ngana i lua pe ona whinangalo aile. Tai tai. Unfortunately, Dr. Lex McDonald is not here today. He has a busy schedule and very busy at work in New Zealand. Therefore, I'll try to present our research themes or research findings. Saumia. Please, come before. Which? Okay. All right, focus of our presentation is, these are the 4 themes that we have covered in our study. 1, importance of localized program. 2, a need to improve sewing. 3, food is a valued easier component. And number 4 is professional development is a key. These are the 4 themes that I'm going to share with you according to this research. Okay, the 4 themes are, first one is importance of localized program in 2013 and 2025. Before the examinations of year 12, year 13 was localized, It was controlled and monitored from the Suva, Fiji. This is the SPPEA, or the South Pacific Board of Educational Assessment. And by looking at the localization of this program, it was really important. For some of the teachers are really appreciating of having this program to be localized. A number of teachers commented that the localized program was important in terms of communication. It was really difficult to communicate from here or from the Ministry of Education and Culture to Suva, Fiji for the control of the management of the tasks in terms of the implementation of this program. Therefore, when the program was localized, it was really important, and the teachers were really happy to have that particular information so that they can handle it in here rather than sending all the information in Fiji or Suva, and they will be monitored from there. The Ministry of Education and Culture started to provide the consumables to improve practical tasks. Before, as you know, that this subject area of food and textiles technology is not made compulsory here in the schools. They only teach, or the teachers only teach the FTT in secondary schools. There is no program in the primary schools, and therefore they only teach it in the secondary level. But that is not a very good point of development of the teachers and students in the classroom. It is important to teach technology for the students in terms of implementing this program in schools in Samoa. So therefore, that's why the Ministry of Education was providing the consumables mainly for the practical parts of the course. The localized program was also making the teachers more ownership and more flexibility and more relevant. They think that this is really important to teach this subject area so that the students will learn. As you know, that the teachers are the key people who really teach the students to become better, and they have good educational background in this particular task or in this particular subject area. Oops. The component number 2 is there is a need to improve sewing. It is quite clear that sewing is not very improving out in the schools when they teach. When the teachers come out to the schools for teaching, they favored food technology but not sewing. There are problems that the teachers found out that there are insufficient resources to practice sewing in the classroom. For example, there are very few sewing machines and other sewing tools to use. It is also found out that in in schools, there are not many resources out in the schools, and this is really a problematic area to look at, or for the Ministry of Education to look at. We know that sewing and textiles technology is really making money a lot. If we look at the many Filipino women or dressmakers and garment constructors are coming here to earn money, and they send it back to their country. But this is the issue, or this is the aspect of learning that the students should be very confident in terms of taking sewing or learning sewing and textiles in the classroom. And who is responsible for teaching them to be confident in teaching? I think the teachers are the key people to implement and to teach the students successfully in the classroom so that they will be able to achieve their achievements at last. Food preparation is a valued, easier component. This is when we look at this area, this is very important because we know that food is available in the community, in the school, at home, and therefore this is why it is a valued, easier component. The students in schools, they always select or pick food preparation to be their area of study rather than sewing. As I explained before, that sewing is not having many resources for them to practice at home, but with food preparation and food availability, the students are always having foods at home or at school so that they will be able to do their practical. The need there should be an ongoing development of skills and knowledge so that the students will be, the teacher will be able to mainly teach their students in the classroom. But the ongoing development of skills and knowledge is not really getting more access for the teachers to do that particular task. Professional development is key. We find that this is very important because technology is the application of scientific knowledge, of practical purposes, and dealing with applied sciences. Therefore, this is really important for ongoing professional development of teachers so that they will be able to teach the students in the classroom. They are feeding the minds of students, and they are the ones, the teachers are the ones who really wanted to do that perfectly done and make sure that they interact with students appropriately in terms of teaching technology. Because I found out that some students who enrolled in the foundation level, when they come to my class, they do not know how to turn down to use the some of the electric appliances, like lower the temperature of the electric oven and many other electric appliances used in the classroom, in the room, or in the cooking room. We have found out that, and I am also pleased, that the National University of Samoa is providing a lot of resources to teach these courses, because these courses are very important for the life skills of students. And therefore, when they finish schools, or there are some school leavers who leave school early, and these are the skills that they will practice out in the village or in the community or at home. Conclusion, teaching and learning FTT in schools promotes self-employment opportunities for the school leavers and many other children who are not in school. Teachers' knowledge and skills of technology are very important because they can be able to teach the students. As I said, that there are many problematic areas in schools, and therefore technology is very important to teach to the students. And the only person to teach them this aspect of education is the teacher. Whaftai lava.
Tai lava una lau. Whamalo foi on sai I ne tātou au fia, o lea ua tātou o mai ne tātou whaipepa muli muli. Ia o ia foi o se tasi o lo whaia onga I le mātou vaenga leo le whakomputa ma teknolosi. Ia o le tamaitai leo Agnes Wansoon. She will be speaking about the students' attitudes towards technology adoption for learning at the National University of Samoa. Ia o steini lea le su eso na ama. Put your hands together for Agnes Wansoon, our last contestant. Sister Noah.
Ia, malo soifua. O le ulu tala au tu mo le nei susuenga po le nei folasanga ua whaapea a meonga tamaiti. Tamaiti a onga le whaonga ina le teknolosi mo a onga I tato University nei Samoa. Whaipa anga whatasele ma le University o Tako New Zealand. Ia mo whaonga ina le teknolosi pe ona Iai whaamaunga nisi o le au suesue, ua tele ia suinga le teknolosi po o nipo kalame whaafauina tempu, ia wala I titi le whaonga ina for mua o onga. Ia o le taiala po le whaavai whaale a onga maua mai ni lo minga po o nisusuenga mai le tamaa loa I ngoi a Aisen tasiva valulima. Le ua whaingoa ina o le the theory of planned behavior. Le lae pe whaimata iala mo lau pepa po lau research. Ia mo le whaamalama ina o le nei theory tolua na vaenga tāua. E ala ta tau ai ona iai se mafua anga whaatino le tamaititi se ngai o inga. Vaenga mua o whaupuina whaapea o le a mionga whaatatau le whaonga ina o le teknolosi o le attitude towards doing the actual behavior. Vaenga longona lua, tangata whaatutua ina e whaia whaiunga I le tamaititi a onga po o lana ina circle leo tangata e whaatutua ina mo whautuanga malangolango ina o lato a onga. Ia male vaenga muli o le tali tonunga e mawhai ai ona whaatino se ngai o inga po le confidence ina ia whaonga ina ai le computer po masini po devices e whaile a onga. A whaila e whaamalia ina ni vaenga e lua pe tolo le nei theory. Ia ona iai leo le whaamoemoenga e ono whaatino e le tamaititi lea ngaluenga. Ia o se whaatata ina lata mai. A whaape fia mana o mia sau laptop o sau telefoni e mua ona e fesili pe fia le tau pe mawhaino e afford pe le ai. Ia e te fesili foi na iu mātua po au o a inga o tangata ia e te whaatutua ina whaalangolango e le lātua foi support. Ia ma le whaamoemoenga I lau oe a ia confidence I le whaonga ino device. Ia ona e a ngai loa le whale o loa e whaatau mai lau masini le whaonga. O nisi nei o lo minga mai nisi o tunuu sa whaonga ina ai ia le nei theory. E pe ona sila atu I o le E taitu tusa le tato anga nuu Measina, Hong Kong, ma Spain. E pe e wha moe e tele le wha moe ngā tamaiti o lato ainga ma lato o e whaia ia whai unga o lato aonga. O le support lea financially, anything to do with their education journey. With the UK o le wanga ia mai America po le au palalang. E se fo ila tau ia tu maanga al whaaliunga o le theory. E tele la tamaiti they are confident enough to handle the device on their own without the help of any teacher or any facilitator. Ia e pei fo ila na mai tau mai o tātou fo i potu a onga e tele o tātou matutua. E whawhainga tān tātou whaonga ina computer po o ni au wala wha teknolosi. E awa wai tamaiti. Ia e pewa masau leo o tamaiti na ilo whaia onga. Ia e whaia la, that's another barrier for e lei ready for ila le instructor po le facilitator. E awa o tamaiti o na ua. Ua mua o le tamaiti tia ia lava. Self-learn. Mai these devices or applications whaonga le whale po nisi o no fuanga sa iai. Ia whaalatala mai I ni susuenga I le Pasifika ma Samoa pei fo I ona lausilafia e tatou fono. O nisi nei o lui tau po o ni whaafitau li e tele na tatou experience I tatou o langa o everyday mea kau social media ia o le whaaleanga ina on tangata I lungo o le Facebook or any social media app. Ia waiaina I tula fono whaateta inga, whaasana, to iaini technology pon devices e whaonga I tono tato wa onga e mese tulanga lua. Ia e au maita miti tono le NUS o le recommend e kaunga iai se telefongi, computer, inga ia sosoangi lako a onga. Yeah, and then some of our main problems, lego ke facing every day, o le lava resources facing a tangata. We are trying our best to accommodate the number of students coming in. Ia malimela le lewa o mai le 12 mai 13 all at the same time. Ia wa kidinga yanga fainga ka, so we are expanding ia computer labs I o le Ocean campus I o Mulinuu, so soania tuai le to atele o tamaiti le wo mai. Ia o le sili au tu Wani vaenga o lo a fia ili whaonga ina teknolosi moa o ngal whanau, I misi tonu le NUS. Ia o le sample size, po le selection o vasenga. Vasenga whaavai mai le tu o le ocean side, mal vasenga whaavai o le tu o le mountain side. Le ana whaonga ina I tamiti. Ia pe on sila atu ina al kalafi. E mawalunga le paseni o tamiti upolu na mawhai on whaatino ina le survey. Ia o savai pena o sful tamiti ia 5% lana na mo mai ia le data. Ia o le access po au wala e mawhai ona mawala to waere whaapea. Everyone can afford a laptop, but we asked the question whether you have some sort of uncle, family, friend, e mawhainga no mai le laptop e whaonga borrow whatever way that they can have access to technology if so swan yai langa onga. Ia lea langa mau mai na I pasene na. Ia o le laptop pale mea taua. Telefonista mai te mai tau e silia tuai whai mai whaasana o I lungo le telefoni I taini e recommenda kua I o lungo le muro. Ia e whai mai le e whaasala ko ka lore lima le afiafi ka pe uma e sea internet. Ia methodology whaonga ina I awala e lua po le mixed method, coding using the SPSS software. Ia male sueina o ni manatu au tu e ala lea I le whaonga ina o le voyant tools. O le software le mawhainga ngā feed umai ko kongu interview response ka maiki. Ia ngā kangolola I ele whai mele pasenge po wangi themes. O lai mention whaasolo a ko me tamiti ala le sili to e tutu loa I le wha maoninga o la totali. If you can see at the third model le third constant ngai ta ua maina o le behavior intention o le perceived behavioral control ma le subjective norms o tamaiti sa moa ia pe ona mai tau fo isusu enga po fa maunga I atunu mamau o le la tau pasene maualunga o le attitude al kamaikiki because a tu le tatuanga nu o tātou e pe puki a ka kou whāngau e ngongo foi kongo ka ko ainga po le ale makua whai ko orua whai whāngau you have to stay with your family or with your parents or A o tamaiti atu no mau. E suvalu lua tasau sangam whainalu ese. Whainalu e ola independent. A o tātou e whai atu lo e wa e whialu ese. Fia whaisau ki. I e le ai e wha umai ngā malo whai ai ko a inga. People disowned like you are going against their will by staying there. So, with what we found, o tātou la e telela on telela afianga subjective norms. Tātou ina circle lea, tātou a inga mawo. Ia male perceived behavior control because of our culture. O le tangata sa moa ia malona ia loto e whai e se mea. A te leselu I tau po ni whawhitau li o se mea. E tau ma whai al tamtiti sa moa e su e ma ia malama lama. So I ngala le pe e ese mai ia findings o le literature, mai le findings I le NUS. Te lele sao mātua. Te lele sao o le, I think it's from within the kid, from the learner. Yeah, from the thematic analysis, these are some of the themes that we found. Yeah, of course, o le accessibility ia facing tangata. Yeah, o le learning autonomy al tamaititi. Some students may come in, they already know how to use the application or software, the program lewa umanga install. Ia ai tu atu foi I whaia onga I o le sina baenga sa that's one of the limitations of the study. Na o tamaiti a onga su ina la tau foi baenga o lo afie la tau whanga ina o teknolosi mo a o onga. Ia and of course o le self-efficacy, like if whaia ma le whatu mea tamaiti e le tau fosia. For example, o le programming part o le foundation computer studies, that's the worst or that's the most difficult that we found I mea kau topics ese programming language. So we've changed or shifted the curriculum I ngā ia wha mua pokalami. Ia o ngā wha solo mai leo isi vahenga kau wha ingo fie umai for semester. O laia e no laka meki ele o wha maamuru. O le la vā onga. Yeah, so these are some of the reasons why they enrolled in computer studies. A lot found it very interesting and they need it for a job after school. And then, of course, there's no other option but to take computer because it's a compulsory. And then others, and then, of course, ole whaukuanga mākua. Kauanga avele IT wai ke lele pe. Ia pe kaunga avele IT e sidia kua ia maka e mawai ka se lelau computer, e lelau technology. Right, so those are again the limitations of the study, facilitating conditions, because we administered this survey or questionnaire using an online link because we were trying to adopt using technology to answer the questions. And therefore, we interviewed some students maybe around the area, but they were more respectful of their teachers. They didn't really want to say what they want to say, but as observed in the classroom, ia le tu ma leanga whaasamboa, ia e le so o ngā whai mai e fo isi talas tamai titi. Ia o le si fo I mea muli o le I maua mai leo se whaataltanoanga man whaia o ngā po le hafo isanga ia view using technology to teach. Implications, so we have shifted some of the pedagogies, the way we teach, of course, and then the other thing that there is no relationship, ese foundation lo whaia po le vale malau learner. Kusa ese uma surroundings of tamaititi, they come from different families, different mindset. Ia ele tamaititi e sau e molen manava il tai au le wa e sa lau papa, but they are not there. They're not there with you. Ia sau le tamaititi na misa ona mātua il tai au. So nga whai sorula ia lea. It's not there. So try and establish that relationship with your learner before you start teaching on ta whaioina tātou whaiaonga. Ia improve ai foi I results on ai tamaiti. Yeah, and of course, we are working together with our department and of course our Faculty of Science, offering a lot of options for the kids. It's not just computer programming. Alewa makanga develop computer applications. Ia maisia options e awange iko e kasile le option ka miki sa ave. Yeah, of course, resources expanding over to Ocean Campus and all that. So in conclusion, wow, I made it on time. Everything ole supporta la le mea tāua mai le universite whaia onga mātua a inga wo whatever e tāua i tato that side of things, because we cannot just teach someone expecting everyone e le la focus mai a malau le sona naso. Ia ai whauma tuai nā ia se whalasanga nei aso. Whawhitai lawa.
Tailava Agnes. Now we come to the questions and answer, but I think our time.
Ai tele lava mole ava noa whawhitai il wholesanga fui maono ma polatai vao ma Agnes ia. Na yo faya o ngai sa o iloi o mil melor kipo ai ole o te fia fa upopo ile masar fo yo se fesili le forsanga fui maono faftai tele lava fui maono mole framework, but just because ole the outbreak of COVID-19 was accidentally happening Samoa nga kupu fa fuase o concept la ia o le ulu ma le whenu o le whala. Foi le aia se matua uu e le la langa se whala o na iai leo le mawhauwhau e whaafua se i ona taia pe whaafua se i ona leanga pe whaafua se i ona pū tu lau saranga ngana e la langa le whala whaatoa le wha o ngā ina le whala pea o ina waleanga o le taimila lea e hafo i pe o ta alo ta maiti o na whaafua se ia lea o na maasai le whala whai maila tala leo na matua au maila le whala le na e ulu o lau ia whaupopo o le tupu o le COVID e leo se mea sa mawhauwhauina ua tupu whaafua se i le whala lea o le anganuu ma lea o aonga, ma mea uma whaapea. O na nofo leo lolo matua, ua au mai le taai ngā lau whala. Ua whaao ngā e ulu, e to e ulu le isi lau whala leo puu. Ina ia mawhai o na to e fo i le whala lea, ma mawhai o na whaao ngā. E to e nofo i le isi lunga, to e whaao ngā mo le isi fia tausanga. E la uia lava ai fo i lea mai le vainga i le tūmale, ma le anganuu lea e whataitai le whai e le matua u ma le ause e papa. E iei ni mea whaapea au mai whala ia o na so lea matoea. Pau lava le wha moe ia ma whai lava o na wha au au lona o ngā. Pei fwela le upu lea o le ala whenu, wa pupuu wa le au, tau ma whai ia lea e so. Acknowledge ele ngā luenga lea sa whai e lea. E to mai wha teknolosi ina ia au pea, ma whai pea o na whaaonga. Pei wale tatou, e o whaila le wha umanga, le maa na ia le au mainga fui mono le whali. La wha ia le tatou upu o le ulu ma ta wholau. Tau tele i loa e tutulu le tatou whale sa moa i nei wha amai. Na tutulu wha afua se. Ona o timunga, ma wha, ma mea la i o wha amai. Ai, e o atu la le au ainga o le matai. Ua sui isi lau, e ulu ai le whale lea. E iele tātou upu, e ulu, mata wholau, ina ia toi malu le mea atoa. O le ala leo te whaafetai ai, ona o le framework leo a mai, le whala lea. E se le maa neia ai tu watu ai la ma upu ia, isi a tātou concept whaasa moa ia. O le ulu, whenu, so o le tātou whala, po o a me tutupu, a ia mawhai lava o na whaao ngā, mawhaau au, whaftai.
Ia whaftai tele lava, sutui wa molo ua wanoa. O a uele e sa o fesili, a olo uloto, i pepa ian au mai an nei. Whawhetai Agnes, whawhetai polata i vau, ona o le vaenga tonua na e selo fia iai. Ona ai mai se lava suʻesuʻega. Ona o lea o te iai I le whainga o mea o suʻesuʻega po research. O le toʻaiga separation ngā, lea I whaaluanga gana, e pingi lunga le whaapetania, ai te liva le whaasamoa. I loo tale tonunga, o le whainga tai o upu, pe a whaapela e alwe whaisa research. O te iloa foi, a whai e whai atu ai nanu, Iana le pawane mea titulu mai ai, ai ala na o whai atu, ma tōlo o pūlou, I le vaenga to o lua le o Agnes mai, ona o le tupu. O lona winga, e estel taua, ona o lewa uloa e a uia matamaiti, o whai lato research, o te whai e whai umale slide le whaapetania, ai wha au ngāla ungangana wha Samoa, e ti liva ai. O le si foi mea, o vaenga ia, o te a o ngai foi maa uia. Ai, a le leila wha Samoa, miliona lau whaapetania, ian whai mai lole o le mea, ua pai literacy le mea, pe code mixing, pe code switching, o le mea e tasi, o le ulupo o alu ulupo, mlo whaalo lava whaftai.
Ia o te inoa o leo wa mai ar tatou session lea, ia le to e tele foi se tala. Ale na ua uma o na whai atu forasanga. Ia o le o fore na tatou te tua iai. Wha atau sau internet ma losi le masau kai peo Starlink. Whai ngofie o na whai au wasenga, whai ngofie o na whai umamea uma pe a masau le tatou internet. Ia, o te iloa ua mole tatou manawa nei taimi ua toi titi task furulua. Ia o na wha umai le wha aftai tele mo tatou session nei tu la. Ia.